Hey guys, welcome back to another video of me teaching you on how to become a DJ. If you haven't seen my first video already, I'm going to link it above right here. Essentially, you guys, I'm walking you guys through on the controls of a mixer, a turntable, and just kind of like the basics of being familiar with these two. In today's video, what we're going to be talking about is Serato DJ itself. I'm going to go through and kind of just show you guys how I have things set up, walking through the different features of the software itself, just real basic stuff that you should kind of have good knowledge on, and that way when you start playing for a crowd, you know what to do and how to like kind of set things up. But before I go and jump into that, I actually put together a few recommendations if you guys wanted to go out and invest in some DJ equipment. The first one I have is for someone that is like, they're interested in DJing, but they're not really trying to invest a whole lot of money, but they just want something to kind of like start with, is going to be the DJ SB3. It's $250. I think Guitar Center has like a sale going right now for like the holidays. So, and I'll link all these below in the description as well. The second one here, I consider it to be like a mid-tier, which is the DJ SR2. This one is $700. It has a little bit more features than the SB3. I think it has a better sound card as well, so like your music is gonna sound super awesome. And then the last one, I actually own this myself, is the DJ SRT 1000. The number one reason why I got this controller is because it has two USB slots, just like the DJM S9. So if you DJ with friends, it's cool, super useful because you can switch on and off laptops. So super convenient. And then the value itself. This is a $1,300 controller, but you get CDJ jog wheels and the DJM 900 mixer. So I thought it gave me a lot of value because, one, I already own turntable and the S9. If I roll up to a club or a venue and all they have is the CDJs and the DJM 900, and I haven't practiced on that, then it's going to be foreign to me. So I invested in this. That way I kind of have best of both worlds, and that way I can practice on that as well. And we're going to go ahead and get started with the DJ Serato Pro software. Let's go. Alright guys, so this is the second part of the video here. We're going to get into the Serato DJ Pro software. And basically, I'm just going to give you guys a walkthrough on what's going on, what to look at, and basically set you guys up for success. So the first thing I want you guys to look at is going to be this top left corner here, where it says vertical. So to me, this view makes the most sense. Some people like different other views, but if you cycle through the different types of views, for the top part, that's what it gets you. So I like vertical. Like I said, it just makes sense, and that's why I have it there. Second part to look at is this record feature. As you can see, I'm recording the audio through Serato right now to use for the video recording of the full screen, which is pretty cool. I think the audio of this sounds way better than like the MacBook microphone, so that's why. Over to the right side, if you click on this help and then click on this show tooltips, anything that you highlight in Serato, it's going to give you the name of like what it's called and also what it does. So if there's a button or an icon you don't know what it is, just click on that and it's going to tell you. It gives you a lot of information here, which is really nice. If you click on it again, it's unhighlights that. So over here, the My Serato tab, if you go into this section here, you can purchase Serato if you don't have like one of their like flagship hardware devices. So you can just purchase Serato either on like a monthly subscription or like a one-time thing. So those are the two options. I have my DJM S9 plugged in right now, so it's not gonna give me an option to buy it. But if I didn't, it will. Also, if you want to purchase expansion packs, they're going to be over here. Anything that you've purchased already will be on this tab. And then a lot of times Serato will give you freebies depending on what kind of like equipment you buy. And they'll give you like a voucher code here to enter to claim whatever expansion pack they give you, which is super awesome. And then over here, if you click on this gears tab, this you're able to like pretty much customize your preferences in Serato. And again, if you see something you don't understand, go ahead and click on the help, show tooltips, and anything that you highlight is going to give you a description of what it does. So super helpful there. For my library, in terms of music, I have everything set up through iTunes. So you're going to go over to this tab. And if you click on this, then it's going to load up all your playlists, all your music in your iTunes. So that's what's doing it right now. I already have it, but it's already checked. And then I also love this feature here. It's called Protect Library. Essentially what that does is, so when you go into your libraries folder, right, typically you can edit through Serato. I actually don't like that just because sometimes I might accidentally click on something and then rename a track. I hate that. So by clicking Protect Library, that's going to avoid any type of like mistakes of like renaming songs or artists or stuff like that. So super helpful. So there's that. And the way that I have my music organized is going to be by the location that I'm playing at and also the type of vibes I want to put on. So I don't really have it by any other type of like organization. I have it this way because it makes sense to me. Of course, it's going to make sense, like different types of way that you want to organize your music is going to make sense to you, right? I've seen a lot of DJs do like genres and by year and stuff like that. Like that's cool. I kind of have it like that too, but it doesn't make sense to me, and that's why I don't have it that way. So like I said, with the iTunes thing, you're able to create playlists and folders and all that fun stuff on there, but you can also do it on Serato too. So you have these two options. This one here, if you click on that, it's going to give you a brand new crate at the very bottom, especially if you have your iTunes library opened. And then from there, you can select whatever songs you want to throw into there and kind of create your playlists or crates that way. The one next to it is this blue. It's a smart crate, and you're basically able to put rules and parameters in here to and let Serato do the work for you. So if you know, for example, let's say you're playing an 80s party, well then you can go into your rule and then you just pick one of the categories you want to have it by. So for example, you can do genre and then you type in 80s, and then in the genre side here, anything that has 80s in it, it's going to pop over into this new smart playlist. So again, Serato does everything for you. And then you can be as like strict as you want with this or broad as you want in terms of like how many rules you want to set up, and kind of go from there. So just experiment with that. And then they have different options as well. So yeah, so that's how that one works. And then just kind of moving down, I have this thing called autoplay set up. So what that means is when you play a song, when you have a song loaded, and then once it gets to the end, typically if you didn't have that on, then nothing would happen. Serato won't load up a song for you. But if you have it on autoplay, then the next song in that playlist is going to be loaded into that same side for you automatically, so that there's no like silence in between. I have a separate playlist for that in the event that like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom or something, and I'm playing more of like a laid back type of party where like mixing is not super like required. You can do it that way, and then just kind of have it on autoplay so that you can just go to the bathroom for a few minutes and then come back, and you'll be good. Um, Usually I make it in time right before the song ends, so I don't have to do that. But in case, then you're kind of covered there, which is really nice. This is also a new feature. I think that this maybe got added maybe 2 years ago, but you have day mode. So if you're playing a day party and it's super bright outside, basically it turns everything to like a negative look, and then it's just easier for you to look at your screen in the daytime. So super helpful there. And then the last thing I want to show you guys are going to be these three tabs and the search feature. So if you're within a playlist, I want to go to the search feature and show you guys. But if you're in a playlist, for example, club, and you search, then you're searching within this playlist. You're not searching within your entire library. But if you do Command F, then that goes to all, and that's all the music that you have on your computer, in your hard drive, external hard drive, or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes I'm in a specific folder and I'm searching for a song and I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought I had this song. And I remember to hit Command F or actually go into all or music. And then it's like, oh, okay, I do have this song. It's just I was in a specific folder searching it that way. So just keep that in mind. And then you shouldn't have any trouble there. History. This is probably one of my favorite tabs. Just because if you're playing a set, for example, like at the club or something, and whatever songs you're playing, like let's say you play one song and then the next song you choose was like, oh, like that wasn't like the best transition, or like I could have done a better job, but I for whatever reason like played this song and it like didn't work out. You can go back to that date. Let me scroll up here. Yeah. So you can go back to that date and look at your play history. And it'll tell you like what time you played it at and all that stuff. So a lot of helpful information here to kind of look back, see like what went well and what didn't go well. So I like to do that like typically at a new spot that I'm playing. I'll go back and look at all the songs that I like played that night and see if, there's something that could have been done better, or maybe like kind of create another playlist from this history list and kind of build it from there. So again, a lot of useful information in this history tab. The other tab, this tab here, prepare, I almost always have this tab open whenever I'm playing live. The reason being is a lot of times you're going to have people that comes up to you and requests a song or an artist or something. And, depending on the situation, depending on what you want to do as the DJ, you can either take the request or not. And if you do, maybe it's not the perfect time for you to take that request right there and then. So you can always use the search feature, right? Command F, get whatever song they want and pop it into this prepare folder and play it when it's the appropriate time. A lot of times what I would do is right when I'm getting started within the first like 30 minutes, I kind of have a good idea. I already have like maybe a starters playlist, kind of like just something to like kind of ease into whatever like location that I'm at and kind of get a feel of what they might like. I'll play like, for example, I'll play this song here by Logic and Wiz Khalifa, right? While that song's playing, it looks like I have about 4 minutes and 15 seconds to like pick a different song, right? Now, if you're like me and you kind of have like a crap ton of music, then that might be overwhelming. you can go into your familiar playlists, all your familiar playlists, for example, Maxwell, and just kind of go down through the list and like, oh, like this song is awesome. I'm going to put it in my prepare folder. Awesome here. Yeah. And you kind of just go about it that way. While you're doing that, you can already have like another song that's queued up on the B side, right? But still, when you're about to mix it in, just keep on going through your library and see what you might want to play. And boom, now you have like a backup plan just in case you kind of get lost and don't know what to play. So again, these are like my favorite kind of tips and tricks of how I use Serato. Of course, there's other things, tons of other things you can do. But in terms of just getting started and kind of getting familiar with everything, this is what I recommend looking at first. And then kind of exploring things on your own and see what you like and then kind of go from there. All right, so that's all I have for today's video. Basically is just all of the things that I thought were important that I wanted to cover in the DJ Serato Pro software. I promise to go into a little bit more detail when I'm demoing certain things that I do in my own DJ sets. So just stay tuned for that. And maybe in the next video, we're going to go ahead and play with some music. Maybe I'll switch it out for the SRT 1000 controller and kind of show you guys what that is all about. Because you guys are a little bit more familiar with this. Or maybe I'll just keep it here. Who knows? But you'll find out in the next video, okay? Peace.